So here I am again driving, and once again not looking at the phone, keeping my hands free so that I'm safe, and wanting to talk to the community. I prefer to talk as opposed to write, although I can write. But because I'm a storyteller and a presenter, I prefer to speak directly. And one of the things that I want to talk about today is the issue of agreement and interaction between the adults who are doing this work, the work of prevention, the work of alleviation of those things that cause the murders amongst the young people, the knife crime, the gang related criminal activities that take place. First of all, there is a deep malaise within the African community, communities. So many of our communities are characterized by jealousy, hatred, envy. A lack of forgiveness is rife. People are quick to point out what has been done to them, and also can tell you categorically why they will not forgive. In my experience, in the studies that I have done, I have seen that in societies where truth and reconciliation has happened, like in Rwanda, for example, where the men who perpetrated gruesome acts against the women, and other men of course, but went to the women through a facilitated process, were asked to be forgiven, were forgiven, ended up working for those women whose husbands, families, they slaughtered, raped, etc. But the act of forgiveness in such an incredibly difficult situation was liberating for both of the parties involved. So imagine if they can forgive each other in a situation, a war situation like that. Why can we not forgive somebody because they slept with our boyfriend, girlfriend, dissed us, ignored us, stepped on our feet, took our trainers, whatever it is? Why are we so jealous when somebody advances? Well, anybody who's jealous because somebody advances is simply expressing the fact that they themselves don't feel good enough. They don't feel like they have the qualities that it takes to advance themselves in their heart of hearts. They feel unworthy. And feeling unworthy is certainly one of those symptoms of post-enslavement syndrome, post-colonial syndrome that has been written about as afflicting the African community. In Yoruba, we would say buruku. It is buruku afflicting the African community. It is as though our heads are bad, but our heads are not bad. And so there are solutions. Rope Rites of Passage Enterprises in North London, Haringey, is one of those solutions. And a program called Creative Intelligence, which is being forwarded by Rope. I want to talk about facilitating conversations, Sababu, between adults. Facilitating conversations in which we make agreements, not only about what we need to do, but also about how we will relate to each other with a series of protocols. That way, when there is a disagreement, which of course there will be because we're human, we have protocols to deal with it instead of forming camps against each other. I say this because it's clear in our communities that what often brings us down is not external enemies, but internal enemies. So we are our own worst enemy, but the beauty of that is that we are our own best saviors as well. So facilitating conversations between adults is my speciality. That's what I work on. Creative conversations, engaging people's creativity, helping them to go within and bring out what best suits the community they serve. That's the work that I do, and I want to bring that work into collaboration with all of these wonderful people and organizations that are so far getting together and really actively addressing this issue of saving the lives of our children, because saving the lives of our children is saving our own lives now and into the future. So that's my message today. It's a plea, it's a message, it's also a query. Are we up for it? I am. Let's talk. Sababu. This is a principle of Ubuntu. Hashim.